Okay, great. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. This is the Planning Committee meeting for Town Council. I'm Steve Tanner. I'll be chairing this evening's meeting. We want to make our meetings available to as many people as possible, regardless of where they are. So we use a hybrid setup of here in person in the Town Hall chamber and online via Zoom. Those in the room, little housekeeping, the emergency exit is to the rear of the room and the assembly point is in the car park. Toilets can be accessed at the end of the corridor on the right-hand side, and there is also an accessible toilet to the right of the lift, also outside. Any panelists on Zoom, please use electronic raise hand by clicking on the participant setting button at the bottom of your screen. Those in the room, please raise your hand. Any attendees on Zoom, please post questions through the Q&A board. Attendees' names will become visible on the questions board for the record as your question is answered. Tonight, Owen's going to clerk and manage the questions board and the participants. He's actually doing everything. The meeting will be recorded for minuting purposes and we will also live stream to our YouTube channel. Item 1.1, any comments, questions, information from the public or councillors? No, great. Item number 2, agreeing apologies of absence received. We've got Polly, Lamb and Lindsay Mayhew. So someone think that? Yeah. I proposed.
Steve proposed.
And Mark seconded.
Mark seconded and unanimous.
Unanimous. Thank you. Item number 3, any declarations of members' interest? Mark.
Yeah, I've spoken to Owen about this already. It may or may not be relevant, but number 911, I own the house next door.
I'm going to show some slides about their certificate of lawful proposed development, so we won't be voting on them. So Mark won't need to leave the room, but we'll discuss them if you want to, otherwise we'll just skip ahead.
Okay, well, when we get to that, we'll decide. Item number 4, to agree the minutes of the meeting held on the 2nd of April 2026. Someone propose that? Thanks, Philip. Thanks, Andy.
Philip, Andy, and that's unanimous.
Great. Thank you very much. Item number 5, consider the major planning applications received. Over to Owen.
Great, thank you, Steve. Okay, so yeah, as I said, at the top of the agenda, I put in the 2 certificate of lawful proposed development applications that we received this month. As I said, these will be whether they are permitted development or not, and whether they'll require a planning application that we'd see at a later date will be determined by the planning officer. But if anyone has any comments on these at this time, then just say so.
Yeah, in my opinion, anything in the conservation area needs a planning application. So I think we should, that would be my call on that one. The other one, leave it up to the planning officer. But I think conservation area is there for a reason, so. Yeah, agreed, my view.
Okay.
We don't vote on it because
no.
it's just a, but I think we make that comment.
Was this the one that the Civic Society sent a message in about?
Yes.
Yes, they did. They suggested that it's likely to be permitted, but they made a comment about it being in the conservation area and it's not ideal. But
Any thoughts, Mark?
I'd better not say anything. 3 of the 5 houses have already had their garages converted. Now, just for a point, to show you, I own the house with a green door. You can see the window on the left, that was originally a garage, which is now the front room. The brown door on the right is the one that's under consideration. The one next to them had converted their garage into a front room, and the one to the left of the green door has also converted their garage into a sitting room as well. But no, yeah.
Don't necessarily have an issue with it. I just think it should have a planning application, really. Yeah.
I'm not going to comment. No, I don't want to comment, but if that's helpful, then I can tell you about it, but I'm not going to say either way, really. I think I should stand away from that one.
Okay, then. Right.
okay, so we'll move on to the next one.
Should we do this one? 908. Woodhays. Woodhays Road. Okay, yeah, do that next, and then, because these guys will be here for that.
Yep.
And then,
Skip ahead.
there you go.
Okay, yeah, 908. So this is FTC agenda number 908, 60 Woodhays Road. It's for a addition of a new semi-detached dwelling to the end of a block, as you can see located on the map there. This is the existing block layout. You can see number 60 there, with the surrounding garden and driveway area. And this is the proposed layout, which adds a new semi-detached dwelling onto the end of that block and provides, as you may be able to see there, parking to the rear, 2 parking spaces, 1 and 2. I think I don't know if it explicitly says, but it looks like a garage is being demolished as part of it as well, yeah. You can see view from the side there on the street view. So yeah, the building would be extended towards us as we're looking at it.
Yeah.
And the parking spaces would be round about in the area in front of that garage where it is at the moment. And this is the view. The building in the centre of the picture there is the existing dwelling, which will be built on the side off to the left. A bit deceptive there. It doesn't look like there's much room, but there is enough. One comment we had in advance was that we were just a bit worried about visibility display. I have driven up there because my child was at a childminder around that way recently, and in my opinion, I don't think that's a major issue. It's quite a quiet junction, and visibility is reasonably good, just because of the kind of curve of the road.
Yeah,
there, I think.
sure. Yeah, I can see that now. Yeah. Okay, great.
Yep.
Thanks. We've got the applicant here. Philip, could you pass over the microphone? You could just introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm David Bissex, the planning agent, actually representing these 2 guys who are the applicants. Not much to add to the planning statement that we prepared. They recognise, obviously, there was scope for a dwelling there, an attached dwelling, and so we produced plans for a 2-bed attached dwelling, which is useful for the using effectively brownfield site. It's a Class A rated dwelling from energy point of view, with solar panels, battery storage, air source heat pump, underfloor heating. And obviously drainage is to hand, so it's connecting to the existing system. Nothing much else to add. It'll be a useful addition to the housing stock.
Great, thanks very much indeed. Any comments from anyone?
Let's wake up, there we are. I think it sounds like it's ticking most of the boxes that worry us. Obviously, I suppose effectively it means that number 60 becomes a mid-terrace rather than its existing semi-detached status. Don't know what that does to council tax banding and things, but it's, yeah. But no, as you say, seems like a useful addition to our housing stock.
Hi, good to meet you. I'm just looking at this sketch drawing here. It seems that you're going to carry on the same sort of roof tiling, and this cladding sort of here, you're going to continue that across as well. So you're keeping it same right the way across, and the same stonework throughout. Okay, thank you.
Am I right in saying someone's done something very similar, not far off? Opposite? Yeah. Thought it was, yeah. Right, and they've done exactly the same as what you're proposing?
They've done with a render.
Right,
They render it instead of...
yeah.
It's for people online.
But they've built the same additional small house,
Yes.
right? Okay. Sorry, Philip. It's good for you, mate. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my main concern before I spoke to Owen was on the junction visibility, but having seen the photograph and spoke to Owen, I don't have an issue with that anymore, I have to admit, so. I'm happy, proposed, no objection on that one?
We no objecting or supporting, given that it's ticking so many boxes.
It's up to you. You want to propose this?
I'd propose that we support this.
Okay, happy to go along with that. Okay, so,
Okay, that's support, and Andy proposed, Steve second, and unanimous.
okay. Thanks for coming. Yeah, you don't have to sit around for the rest of the meeting. It's up to you. You can, as I say, you can stay if you want. We'll just break for a minute. No problem. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thanks very much. Cheers. Thank you. Come on, give me.
Okay, great.
Sorry.
So the second item tonight, number 910, which is a second certificate of lawful proposed development on Sycamore Drive. Again, just for information, if anyone wants to make a comment, then please do. This is for a certificate for a rear dormer to enable conversion of the attic and provide additional living accommodation and conversion of an existing garage or outbreak space. Hold on.
Okay.
From current slide.
Ability to discuss this.
Not really, no. I mean, just for your info, the Civic Society objected because permitted development requires that the proposed materials must be similar to the existing house facing materials. And they're saying that the dormer facing materials proposed are not similar, so are not permitted development. I think we leave that up to the planning officer personally. Again, if they feel it needs a planning application, we'll see it, won't we? But there's nothing for us to vote on that one. Okay.
Okay, should we move on?
Yes, please. Thank you, Ryan.
So, item number 907. This is 41B Lower Keyford, Frome. It's a change of use from furniture restoration workshop to a one-bedroom apartment at first floor level with ground floor workshop and associated parking, and also demolition of an existing workshop. It's a bit tricky to look at this one, but I think I've managed to put together some slides that make it a bit easier. It's in the conservation area. The heritage statement acknowledges, not heritage statement, designer's access statement, I think, acknowledges that there's listed buildings nearby, but they're not within view, really, because it's in a kind of a courtyard. This is a demolition of a later addition to the original older building, and it is to change to, as I said, residential to the first floor and ground floor workshops. Oh, that's the same again. It involves a removal of a later addition and revealing the original stone frontage of the main building. And the statement suggests it would be an improvement to the courtyard setting and improved parking provision. This is a picture of the courtyard looking towards the building there. You can see the kind of projection coming out, the extended bit, the storage area on the ground floor, and the workshop above. That will be demolished. Yeah. And so this is the current layout as it stands there with the workshop there. If you look at the bottom left of this picture, of this slide, you can see the workshop projecting out diagonally towards the bottom right, if you know what I mean. And so this is the proposed, which removes that and includes a staircase going up to the main part of the building. So that will be an addition. As I said, it's a bit tricky to talk this one through, but that's a zoomed in version of what they're doing. And yeah, that is the side-on view, which shows a staircase going up to a set of decking, which is outside of the first floor living accommodation. And that's it from the other direction.
Great, thanks very much. Any thoughts? I mean, to me, it's the fact that they're demolishing something that's been added on and putting something back, which to me aesthetically looks quite a lot better. I don't really have an issue with it, I have to admit.
It's not removing any, I take it, it's previously been a restoration, but not currently, it's not removing employment land or anything like that?
No.
As far as we're aware.
Okay.
So it's very much sort of reconfiguring, taking away that newer addition, and also they're increasing car parking as well. So I don't see anything that they're doing which is sort of has a negative effect.
No, from the sound of it, historically it's been a sort of live-work combination, and going forward it will continue to be a live-work combination. Fine with that.
Okay. So, no objection then? Yeah. So, Philip propose that? Yeah.
So that's no objection, proposed by Philip and seconded by Andy, and unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, 60 Woodhaven Rose we've just looked at. Okay, item number 912, this is 9 Grange Road, a 2-storey side extension and a single-storey rear extension. It's updating to provide, in the designer's access statement, says appropriate accommodation for future life. It includes a downstairs bedroom and a bathroom. And a single-storey rear extension, which is where the new kitchen is going to go. Might want to talk about potential amenity impact to neighbours in relation to shading, but we'll come on to that. Again, I've duplicated these slides a bit, but there we go. But that's the, you can see a bit easier, the block plan on the left. So the red section on the left-hand side there is where there'll be the 2-storey extension, and to the rear will be the single-storey kitchen extension. This is a street view from the front. Yeah, so the neighbouring property to the left there, number 7, have pretty much done exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Albeit they've kept an integral garage there. And you can see the property to the other side, number 11, in terms of proximity.
Yeah.
It's a view from the rear. So that extension there will be demolished. And
Is the footprint of the single-storey ground floor extension the same as the conservatory that's there at the moment, or is it?
so you can see here on this layout, the conservatory to the bottom there.
Yeah, got it.
And
Okay,
it's coming out quite a degree further.
Yeah.
In terms of the extension to the 2-storey extension to the side of the building, that's not coming out any further than the existing kitchen.
Okay, interesting.
Just a quick look at the, well, these are the layouts in terms of what they're hoping to provide. And these are the elevations proposed. So this section elevation mentions shading. So the neighbouring property, the number 7, where they already had that similar extension done, they also included this kind of canopy area, which provides, which already shades the existing windows there. That's the point they're making in the design and access statement. The extension that will be built will rise above the fence line, so it'll be visible to the neighbouring property. Yeah, it's for discussion.
But if that's the eastern elevation, then the gardens are south-facing, are they?
Yeah, exactly. The gardens are south-facing, so it would be
Minimal impact.
minimal during morning and evening in either direction, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
It's a shame that, because number 7's already done it pretty much. It's a shame that they didn't replicate that. It's almost as a mirror image, because then that single-story extension will be on the other side.
Yeah, they sort of have it at the front, haven't they, but not at the rear.
Yeah, not the rear, and it causes that sort of almost like a sort of courtyard effect, doesn't it, for number 7?
Yeah, it could end up quite a dark sort of, as you say, courtyardish sort of space, couldn't it? That would be my only real concern is that the impact of that extension, that rear extension, having on the next door property.
Yeah, there is a proximity, and there's the height as well, isn't there? Because, as Owen's just said, it's going to be higher than the fence.
Any crack on, just? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm particularly worried about it, as I say, because it's pretty much south-facing, so daylight's going to get in there most of the time. I'd be surprised if anybody objects.
Yeah, I think if the planning officer is okay with it, then I haven't really got a problem.
There are no windows or any overlooking other than the building itself, so.
No. The Civic Society picked up that, and also they're saying that for a house of this size, there should be at least 3 parking spaces, and the reduction to 2 is not compliant. I don't really have a problem with car park spaces. I don't know if anyone else does.
One thing the Civic Society, they mentioned about parking, but the drive is widened. Is that what you just said, Steve?
Yeah, yes. No. They picked up on 2 things. One was what we just discussed about the rear extension and the reduction on plot parking. What they're saying is that for a 4 or 5 bedroom house, at least 3 parking spaces, and the reduction to 2 parking spaces is not compliant.
One thing, and this may be a wider discussion, but we see quite a few extensions like this that result in the loss or the increase of potentially impermeable space. And that I'd quite like to have a conversation about how that affects runoff and, the current debate around storm overflows as well. Wessex Water did an interesting study about the rate of impermeable surfaces growing at 1.1 metre per year per property in their catchment, and the effect that that's having on storm overflows is a really interesting debate. I don't know if we want to have that debate here this evening, but it may be that we adopt a position where we say we would prefer to see permeable paving.
Yeah, do we know that this drive is going to be impermeable? It's perfectly possible to create them out of a semi-permeable surface.
Yeah, it doesn't specify, and I don't think they have to specify. So I don't think they do under planning rules at the moment. Well, we could ask, couldn't we? There's no harm in us asking. And I agree, Darren. Perhaps we should have a further debate on it at some point to have a policy, a position on impermeable driveways going forward.
Those properties with the rear gardens, if they're not allowed to feed that into the water system, then they can have soakaways. And planning officers can actually say that is a condition, that it has to be a soakaway so many metres away from the building, because there aren't any other buildings. That would be one way to mitigate.
I think that's for a wider discussion, isn't it? Yeah. Not for today. I think that's a wider discussion. Right, back to this.
Okay.
So what are we hearing? We haven't no objection, subject to the planning officer checking the overlooking stroke loss of amenity to the next door neighbour, given the single-storey ground floor extension being bigger than existing.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Mark, you happy? Okay with that? Yeah. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, that's great. So that's no objection, subject to the planning officer being satisfied that there's no issue around shade and overlooking to neighbouring property.
Yeah.
Great. Proposed?
Yeah, Philip.
Mark, Philip, and that's unanimous. Okay. I'm just going to have a check at my slides because I've got this nagging feeling that I've missed one in going back and forth. So just let me have a quick look. I think there may be only one more. We did Catherston Close, didn't we? Did we do this one? Yeah. Oh, no, we didn't. This was the other one. I added this later. This wasn't in the initial highlighted for discussion, but it was commented on by the Civic Society, and I just didn't know if anyone wants to talk about this one in particular. It's, sorry?
Yeah, it said, an objection to the enlargement of the accommodation with consequential loss of on-plot parking. Assuming the dining room will probably serve as a third bedroom, the remaining two spaces do not meet the standard. It's a big assumption, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm on mic on. The thing is, the whole Somerset parking rules and regulations were put together so many years ago. They're completely out of, as far as I'm concerned, they're completely out of date. And yeah, I don't really have an issue with it. There are
No objection.
No objection.
Thank you, Andy.
Andy,
Right, well, Andy's proposing no objection.
seconded. Philip, unanimous. Okay, and that's it.
Is that it?
That's it.
Wow, that was short and sweet, wasn't it?
Next meeting?
Hang on, we've got to vote on the others first.
On all the others.
Yeah, all right, so can we propose that we take Owen's comments forward for all the other things we haven't discussed? Someone propose that for me, please. Thank you, Philip. It's unanimous.
And that's unanimous.
And the next planning meeting is on the 14th of May, 2026. Thanks, everyone. See you then.
Great. Thank you.